Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ. In this video, I will bring to you the best 300 MCQs for the month of August. This is set 4 in English. Let's start the video. Union Minister of Power has launched an online portal called DRIPS portal. What is DRIPS? Disaster Resilient Infrastructure for Power Sector. Now DRIPS has been developed by which organization? DRIPS has been developed by Central Electricity Authority. And Central Electricity Authority works under the Ministry of Power. So as the name says, disaster resilience. So in the power sector, there can be a lot of disasters like short circuit, like for example, fire, current, there can be multiple types of disasters. So basically, the Ministry of Power has launched DRIPS portal. This will allow for very quick identification and deployment of necessary resources to ensure that the power sector disruptions are addressed promptly and efficiently in a disaster-like situation. Sometimes the disaster can be big and therefore it can lead to power outage, which can affect a lot of people. Right? Now, what DRIPS will do? So DRIPS will serve as a single point of contact for all the designated nodal officers of all the departments of the power sector and other agencies also in the affected districts or state for managing the disaster. How they will manage the disaster? They will make sure that the inventory and the critical supplies are taken and emergency response is swift. Right? Now you must have heard about a network called India Disaster Resource Network. India Disaster Resource Network is Ministry of Home Affairs. So similarly, this will help the power sector. Just like Home Ministry has the India Disaster Resource Network, where all the resources, the critical supplies, the human resources, the inventory, they are managed for emergency response. Similarly, in the power sector, it will be DRIPS. And I told you earlier that the Ministry of Power, they have launched 3 portals. So they have recently launched a portal called Jal Vidyut DPR. That Jal Vidyut means hydroelectric power. So this portal will be helpful in the survey and investigation of the hydropower projects. And another portal called Prompt portal that will help in the same work but for the thermal power plants. Prompt portal will help in determining the progress, monitoring the progress and investigating the thermal power plants. Which of the following ministry has launched a portal which is called BOCWMIS or Building and Other Construction Workers Management Information System, where the construction workers can register themselves to avail the benefits of various schemes. An excellent question. This has been launched by the Ministry of Labor and Employment. It has been launched by the Ministry of Labor and Employment. So they have launched a portal where the construction workers, they can register themselves. So this portal is only for the construction workers. They can register themselves on this portal and they can get to know about various schemes that benefit them. Because a lot of construction workers are not aware of the government schemes that can benefit them. So this is like a centralized data management system. And Ministry of Labor and Employment, they are running a scheme also called Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana. It's a pension scheme and it was launched in 2019 by the Ministry of Labor. It gives a pension of, assured pension of 3,000 rupees to those construction workers or those workers of the unorganized sector who turn 60 years old. And why this scheme was in news? Because now it has crossed 50 lakh beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Man Dhan Yojana, and maximum beneficiaries are from Haryana. Out of 50 lakh, 8.25 lakh are from Haryana, 6.8 lakh are from UP. A recently launched FPS Sahay. It's an on-demand, invoice-based financing application designed to offer completely paperless, presence-less, which means you don't have to visit, completely digital, collateral-free, cash flow-based financing to the fair price shop dealers. It is developed by which organization? Fair price shops, you know already what do the fair price shops do. So FPS Sahay is a portal which has been launched by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs. It is a portal which is launched by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, right? And who has developed this portal for Ministry of Consumer Affairs? SIDBI. So this portal is developed by Small Industries Development Bank of India. So you know what are fair price shops, right? Now fair price shops, if they need loan, then if they have invoice, if they have invoices on, invoices, which means they have receivables. So they can take loans against those invoices or against those receivable, and it will be completely paperless and collateral free. So the answer is SIDBI. They are asking who has designed and developed this portal. So the answer is SIDBI, but it has been launched by which ministry? The answer is Ministry of Consumer Affairs. Now another important point, the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, they have partnered with a company called Udaan. It is a B2B e-commerce company. And what they are doing is they are converting 60 fair price shops in 4 states of India to Jan Poshan Kendra, so that the fair price shops, they have more things to sell. They will be converted to Jan Poshan Kendra, and that was also announced very, very recently. And so it will allow them to purchase food grains and FMCG products. They can have a broader and more diverse assortment of food products, and they can sell. So which are these 4 states? So it is in Gujarat in Ahmedabad, Rajasthan in Jaipur, Telangana in Hyderabad, and Ghaziabad, which is in UP. Also, the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, they have launched few more things. So they have launched a mobile app called Mera Ration app. Now this is launched with more value added features for the beneficiaries across the country. So this is the version 2. The department officials of both the center and the state on their part will have access to vital information related to the ration cards and PDS. What is PDS? So it is through the PDS that you get National Food Security Act. The food is distributed, right? Even under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana and Mera Ration app. So this ministry is called Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Now they have, the same ministry has also launched Quality Management System in partnership with Food Corporation of India. So Quality Management System is a digital app for integration of quality control laboratories, and as the name says, Quality Management System, and that's all you need to know. Which institute has collaborated with DRDO, and it has developed a new technique to capture the images of minute movements of the explosions in the precise detail. Now sometimes what happens, there are bomb blasts, right? And the photographs of bomb blasts, they can reveal a lot of things. So this particular system, this particular technique can capture the images of minute movements of explosions in precise detail. And which institute has done it? It is IIT Indore. IIT Indore has developed it in collaboration with DRDO. And basically what they will do is they will, sometimes when there is a bomb blast, more often than not, there are blurred images and loss of details. So it interferes with the investigation. But they have developed a technique where the exposure time will be as low as 15 nanoseconds. And this system is capable of recording up to 7 lakh frames per second, giving the investigators or scientists a real-time look at how the particles behave during an explosion. It can be a normal explosion, it can be a bomb blast, it can be any explosion. And why was IIT Indore in news recently? So there is a center called C Narmada for Narmada River Water Management. It has been set up in the campus of IIT Gandhinagar, but IIT Indore is collaborating with IIT Gandhinagar for this. C Narmada Center has been set up in the campus of IIT Gandhinagar, but with the help of IIT Indore. And this is very similar to C Ganga. C Ganga was set up in IIT Kanpur. That was for Ganga River Basin Management. And let me tell you, recently IIT Indore was in news for one more reason. What was that? So they have prepared special shoes for the Indian Army people. The shoes are called TENG shoes. They have a technology called TENG, or Tribo Electric Nano Generator. Now these shoes will generate electricity and also provide real-time location tracking. National Payment Corporation of India has launched a new feature on its UPI platform to enhance the convenience and security in digital transaction across India. What is the name of this new feature? The name of this new feature is called UPI Circle. It is called UPI Circle. So what is UPI Circle? Well, you can create your circle. So this is you, right? So you are the primary user. You are using UPI in your phone. But now what you can do is you can add secondary user. So you can add maximum 5 secondary users. You can add your close people like your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, even your wife. So you can add 5 people in your circle. Now these are secondary users. All of these are secondary user. So secondary user will be a trusted individual, right? And you can give them two types of delegation. One is a full control, that is called full delegation, and one is called partial delegation. So they will be added to your UPI, which means they can make UPI payments on your behalf. Now, if you have given them partial control or partial delegation, then the OTP will come to you for approval. The authentication will be done by you. They can initiate the transaction, but authentication will be done by you. But if you have given them full delegation, then they can make payments. How much? So monthly limit is 15,000 per delegation, right? And maximum transaction limit is 5,000. So 5,000 is the limit for per transaction, and 15,000 is the limit for 1 month or one per delegation or per person. So this is something that you should know. This is called UPI circle, and it will become very popular. Just watch out because you can now delegate payment responsibilities to trusted secondary users. Now keep in mind that one user can add maximum 5 secondary users, but one secondary user can accept delegation from only one primary user. So if you are a secondary user, you can accept the delegation only from one primary user. The organization has issued bonds worth 225 million US dollar. These are principal protected Amazon reforestation linked outcome bond. So the interest rate that you will get will depend on whether the climate targets are achieved or not. So there is a minimum interest rate and there is a maximum interest rate. The minimum interest rate on the bonds will be 1.745%, and if the reforestation targets are achieved in the Amazon forest, it can go as high as 4.362%. It looks less. Even if you achieve the maximum, it is still less. But then there is a word called greenium. So companies, individuals, they are willing to take less interest if it helps environment. This is a noble initiative. So who has issued it? IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is a part of the World Bank Group. It is the lending arm of the World Bank. It has issued 225 million worth US dollars Amazon reforestation linked outcome bond. So these are 9-year bonds. They were priced on 13th of August and they will mature on 31st of July 2033. And where will they be listed? They will be listed on the Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Luxembourg Stock Exchange. Polaris Dawn mission is set to make history as the first private spacewalk. What is a spacewalk? So this is called extravehicular activity. Extravehicular activity. So when you go to the space, you come out of your spacecraft and you do a walk in the sky. That is called spacewalk. So Polaris Dawn mission was launched by which company? It was launched by SpaceX. And this is very important. It was launched by SpaceX, and it was launched when? It was launched on 26th of August 2024. It's a 5-day mission and they will go 435 miles away from Earth or above the Earth, and then they will do a spacewalk. They will do a spacewalk, right? So this mission was done using the Falcon 9 rocket of SpaceX. Falcon 9 rocket of the SpaceX. Also, Elon Musk, what is he doing? He is shifting the headquarter of SpaceX. So SpaceX headquarter earlier was in California, but he is moving it now to Texas. He is moving it to Texas. And these are the 4 people who have gone in the Polaris Dawn mission. So Jared Isaacman is the brain. He is the financier also. He's a billionaire. And then there are others. So 4 people are going. Which state has launched Mukhyamantri Bal Paushtik Ahar Yojana to provide nutritious foods to the school children? This is a scheme which has been launched recently by the government of Himachal Pradesh. So it will help. It will be only for the government school children. If the children are studying in government school, then they will be given, students from class nursery to class 8th. They will be given either boiled eggs or fruits once a week. Boiled eggs or fruits once a week. So this is to provide nutritious foods to the school children. The fresh fruits will be sourced from the local market based on the preference of the children, and the scheme will complement the existing midday meal scheme. So it will cover more than 15,000 government schools in Himachal, and more than 5 lakh students will benefit from this scheme. So this has been announced by the Himachal government. Who among the following has been appointed as India's permanent representative to United Nations? Extremely important question. Ruchira Kamboj has been replaced now, and she has been replaced by the very able Mr. Harish Parvat Naini. Currently, he was serving as India's ambassador to Germany, and now he has been appointed as the permanent representative of India to the United Nations. He replaces Ruchira Kamboj. Ruchira Kamboj. As per the recent information by International Cricket Council, the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2024, this is the 9th edition, it will be held in which country? So it will take place in United Arab Emirates. Actually, it was supposed to take place in Bangladesh, but they have shifted it from Bangladesh to UAE. It will take place in two cities of UAE, one is Dubai and one is Sharjah. Dubai and Sharjah. So ICC Women's T20 World Cup, this is the 9th edition and it has been moved from Bangladesh to the UAE. Now out of 9 times, 6 times it has been won by Australia. 6 times. One time it was won by England and one time by West Indies and 6 times by Australia. And out of the last 7 times, 6 times it has been won by Australia. So Australia is the absolute, winner when it comes to World Cups, even in the women's section. Zomato has purchased or acquired which company? So they have acquired a company, Paytm's entertainment and ticketing business. On Paytm, there was a company called Paytm Insider. Using Paytm Insider, you could book movie tickets or concert events and all that. And the first event which Zomato organized was the Dua Lipa event. Dua Lipa is an American singer and she is coming for a concert to Mumbai. This was the first event that Zomato hosted. So they have purchased the Paytm Insider, that is the Paytm's entertainment and ticketing business. For what amount? The amount is 2048 crore rupees. Zomato is a company that is headquartered in Gurugram. The CEO is Mr. Dipender Goyal. CEO is Mr. Dipender Goyal. So they have purchased Paytm Insider from 197 Communication. 197 Communication is the parent company of Paytm. And Zomato, they will name this company what? District, right? So on District app, you can, you can have dining, movies, sports tickets, live performances, and all those things. Recently, which of the following organization has signed a MOU with the Department of Post that works under the Ministry of Communication for physical verification of new units being set up across the country under the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program? Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program is a scheme that was started by the Ministry of MSME and KVIC is the nodal ministry for the same. So the answer is KVIC. Now what happens in Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program is you set up an industry, you set up a manufacturing or a service sector industry and government will give you subsidy, right? And now who will verify whether you are actually setting up a manufacturing industry or service industry or not? It is the Department of Post. Department of Post, because we have 1,65,000 post offices in India and a lot of them, almost you can say 1,40,000. So they are 85 to 90% are in the rural areas. So if you are setting up a unit in the rural area, who will verify? It is Department of Post, which works under the Ministry of Communication. Now, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, it was launched in 2008 by the Ministry of MSME. So what happens in this? Well, you have to be more than 18 years of age. You have to be above 18 years of age. The implementing agency is the KVIC and you can set up an industry. Now, what is the maximum limit? If you want the subsidy by the government, the maximum limit is 50 lakh for a manufacturing sector industry and 20 lakh if it is a service sector industry. 50 lakh maximum investment limit for manufacturing sector industry and 20 lakh for a service sector industry, right? And how much subsidy are you going to get? Well, that again is a very important question. How much subsidy? So that I'll tell you. So urban, rural, that depends. Subsidy depends on urban, rural. It also depends on whether you are a general category person or you are SC, ST, OBC, minority, third gender, physically handicapped, etc., etc. Now look, if you are a general category person in the urban area, you will get 15% subsidy. If you are a general category person in the rural area, you will get 25% subsidy. If you are a SC, ST, OBC, minority, woman, ex-serviceman, physically handicapped, etc., etc. If you are in the urban area, you will get 25% subsidy. If you are in a rural area, you will get 35% subsidy. Subsidy on what? Subsidy on the project cost. And this cost cannot be more than 50 lakh for the manufacturing sector and 20 lakh for the service sector. Which of the following institute and Pennsylvania State University in America, they have developed a new genome editing tool, which is called ISDRA2-TNPB, which is significantly smaller than the traditional CRISPR associated proteins like Cas9 and Cas12, making it more suitable for use in the plant cells. Look, there is a concept of defective genes. For example, if your gene is defective, you must have heard that there are a lot of diseases which are because of the defective genes. So let's say this is the defect in your gene. Can you edit it just like you edit your document? Yes, you can. So this is called CRISPR technique, gene editing technique, genome editing tool, CRISPR, which uses two enzymes, Cas9 and Cas12. Now, what scientists from there is an Indian institute called National Rice Research Institute, which is in Cuttack in Odisha. It works under ICAR. So the scientists from ICAR, National Rice Research Institute in Cuttack in Odisha, and Pennsylvania State University, which is in America, they have developed a new genome editing tool called ISDRA2TNPB, and it has been obtained from which bacteria? That is a good question. So you can see DRA. So the name of the bacteria is Deinococcus. This is a tool which is obtained from a bacteria called Deinococcus radiodurans. Radiodurans. That is where you get this word DRA. And it is significantly smaller than CRISPR associated proteins like Cas9 and Cas12, and therefore it is suitable for use in the plant cells. Right? One more recently, research has been done. So there is an institute in India which works under CSIR. It is called Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology. It is located in New Delhi, and they have developed a new genome editing system which is better than CRISPR. And what are they calling it? So in CRISPR we use Cas9, but they have made a new enzyme which is called FN-Cas9. So what is FN here? FN is again a bacteria called Francisella novicida. Francisella novicida. Which country and Indian Defense Ministry, they have entered into an agreement to provide each other with reciprocal priority support for goods and services that promote national defense. So we have signed this deal with United States of America. A very important question. It is a bilateral treaty, non-binding, so it is not legally binding. And what is the name of this agreement? It is called Security of Supplies Agreement. It is called Security of Supplies Agreement. You can call it SOSA. Now, we signed a lot of agreements with America like LEMOA and all those. So SOSA is Security of Supplies Arrangement. So basically, goods and services America will give us and we will give to America for promoting national defense. This agreement is called Security of Supplies Agreement. This is a landmark agreement, extremely important from exam point of view. Now the two countries, they have signed one more MOU, which is the Memorandum of Agreement regarding the assignment of liaison officers. Assignment of liaison officers. What is liaison officer? Basically who coordinates, right? So one military officer from India will be posted at a military base of America, and one officer from America will be posted at a military base of India. So one naval officer from India will be posted at the US naval base in Bahrain. One military officer, one naval officer from India will be posted at the US base in Bahrain. Now, Securities of Supplies Agreement will enable both the countries to acquire from one another the industrial resources they need to resolve unanticipated supply chain disruptions to meet national security needs. National security needs, right? So a very, very important question. And look, India is not the first country with which America has signed this agreement. In fact, America has this arrangement with SOSA agreement with 18 countries. So India is the 19th country with which America has signed this agreement called SOSA. And America has done an exercise with South Korea recently called Freedom Shield. It is called Ulchi Freedom Shield. Which of the following company has become the fifth unicorn of the calendar year 2024? Fifth unicorn is a renewable energy company called Athar Energy. It is a Bangalore-based company. It is an electric scooter manufacturer. Athar Energy. So it has raised an investment of 600 crore rupees recently, which is around $71 million from National Investment and Infrastructure Fund (NIIF). And this is a company which was started in 2013 by Mr. Tarun Mehta and Mr. Swapnil Jain. Tarun Mehta and Swapnil Jain. So it is the fifth unicorn. A unicorn means a company which touches a market value of $1 billion. Which are the other four? So Perfios, we have Krutrim, we have Porter, and we have Rapido. Right? So by the way, NIIF, National Investment and Infrastructure Fund, 49% ownership in this fund is of the Indian government. Right? And very recently, Rapido became the fourth unicorn, Porter became the third unicorn of this year, Krutrim was the first, and Perfios was the second. So these companies have become unicorn this year. Kite GNU Linux 22.04. It's a new free operating system. It has been launched. It is designed for the public schools of which state? So Kite, what is Kite? Kite is basically an institute. It is called Kerala Infrastructure and Technology for Education. Kerala Infrastructure and Technology for Education, Kite. So Kite GNU Linux is an operating system for the government schools in Kerala. The answer is Kerala. It will promote digital education because 3 lakh computers will be connected with this free Linux operating system. And Linux operating system works on Ubuntu. See, basically this Kite GNU Linux is a customized version of Ubuntu. It is a customized version of Ubuntu. India and Japan, they have held their 2+2 foreign and defense ministers meeting. You can see the foreign minister of India, Jaishankar, defense minister of India, Rajnath Singh. They met with their counterparts from Japan. They met the foreign and defense ministers of Japan. So where did this meeting take place? This meeting took place in New Delhi. The answer is New Delhi. And they talked about free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific. So basically both Japan and India, they are concerned by the China's growing military presence in the Indo-Pacific and the Indo-Pacific, right? And both the countries are a part of Quad. They both reviewed their national security strategy. They both of these countries do multiple military exercise like Veer Guardian, which is done by the Air Force, Dharma Guardian, which is done by the Army, and Jimex, which is done by the Navy. They also do Shinyu Maitri. Now Shinyu Maitri is also done by the Air Force. Veer Guardian is also done by the Air Force, and Malabar. In Malabar, all the Quad countries are there: Australia, US, India, and Japan. And they also do a Coast Guard exercise known as Sahyog Kaijin. So multiple exercises take place between these two countries. So India and Japan will work together, and one very important thing happened in this meeting. So there is a Japanese, technology called Unicorn, which is also known as NORA 50. NORA 50. What is it? It is an antenna. It is an antenna that is used by the ships, and Indian ships will be integrated with Unicorn or NORA 50 technology. So this was the highlight of this meeting. The transfer of the Unicorn or the NORA 50 technology. Unicorn means Unified Complex Radio Antenna. In short, Unicorn. So Unicorn or NORA 50 technology will be transferred by Japan to India, and it will be very useful because these are very high quality antenna that are used by the ships. There is an autobiography called The Scientist Entrepreneur, Empowering Millions of Women. It is the autobiography of whom? It is the autobiography of Dr. Kalpana Shankar. Dr. Kalpana Shankar, right? So she was a nuclear scientist, but then she became an entrepreneur. As per the recently updated Model Foster Care Guidelines in India, what is the newly specified age range for individuals who are eligible to foster children? What is the meaning of foster children? Foster children basically are those children who are raised by any person other than their biological parents, right? And Ministry of Women and Child Development, they have given these guidelines, right? So, for example, if you want to adopt a child, adoption comes much later. First, you have to keep the children as a foster children. You have to raise them and then you can apply for adoption. So, individuals who are between the age of 35 and 60, they can foster children. And the most important part is even the single, earlier only the married couples could raise children, foster children. But now even if you are single, then you can raise children. You can now foster children. You can take care of them, take care of their education. It's just like your own child. So irrespective of your marital status, you can take care of children if your age is between 35 and 60. So you can be unmarried, you can be married, you can be widowed, you can be divorced, doesn't matter. Now here, if you are a single woman, you can foster and adopt children, both male and female. But if you are a single male, then you can only, so single men, they are restricted to fostering and adopting only male children. A single man cannot adopt a female child, right? So earlier, the previous guidelines were the guidelines of 2016. So previously, the 2016 guidelines, they limited the foster care to only the married couples, right? But now you can foster children. And the eligible children for foster care in India, they are typically over the age of 6 and without suitable guardians. Without suitable guardians. Now, for married couples, a stable marital relationship of at least 2 years is now required before they can foster a child. Also, the mandatory fostering period before adoption has been reduced from 5 years to 2 years. So if you want to adopt a child, right, you have to first foster him for 2 years, keep him with you, take care of him like a child, and then you can apply for adoption. Earlier this was 5 years, but now the fostering period has been reduced from 5 years to 2 years. 5 years to 2 years. So all of these are the guidelines that you should know. And by the way, if you want to adopt a child, you have to register yourself on a portal called Carings Portal. Carings Portal. Carings Portal means what? Now Carings Portal is a portal of the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and this portal was designed and developed and maintained by NIC, National Informatics Center, which works under the Ministry of Electronics and IT. But this is a portal of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Caring stands for Child Adoption Resource Information and Guidance System. In short, Carings Portal. Carings Portal. So Carings Portal was launched in 2011, and the latest version is Carings version 3.2, which was released in November 2022. And you will find a lot of childcare institutions, district child protection units, specialized adoption agencies. All of this you will find here. So do remember that, very important. And there we also have Central Adoption Resource Authority. Again, this works under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is a statutory body and it is an autonomous body. It is the nodal body for the adoption of Indian children. It is the main body. It is the nodal body for the adoption of Indian children. Do remember that as well. Let's move on. The Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, Prahlad Joshi, has chaired the signing of India's first ever agreement to export green ammonia to which country? Green ammonia. Green ammonia is an environment friendly fuel. It can be used as a fuel, and Japan is the answer. So it is not like Indian companies, only Indian companies will be manufacturing it and then exporting to Japan. Even the Japanese companies in India, they will manufacture it, and then whatever is manufactured, it will be shipped to Japan. So there are a lot of companies, like for example, Samcorp. Samcorp is a company that is based in Singapore. Similarly, there is a company called Sojitz, which is based in Tokyo. There is a company called Kyushu, which is based in, again, Japan, in Fukuoka. Then there is another Japanese company based in Tokyo called Nippon. So all of these, they have signed agreement with India, and green ammonia from India will be sent to Japan. This is the first of its kind collaboration between the two countries. So India is becoming a global green energy powerhouse. Global green energy powerhouse. Is that clear? And with Japan, let me tell you that Japan is providing India what? That I will tell you. So Japan will provide India with a special antenna that will be used on the Indian naval ships. And what is this antenna? So this antenna, you can call it NORA 50. You can also call it Unicorn antenna. Unicorn or NORA 50 is the name of the antenna that Japan will be providing to India. Let us move on. As per the recent information, Uttar Pradesh is set to launch the UP Agriculture Growth and Rural Enterprises Ecosystem Strengthening, or UP Agris project, to boost the agriculture across the state. What is the total investment in this project? Total investment will be 4,000 crore rupees. And this is a loan that is given by the World Bank to UP. So this project is funded by Uttar Pradesh. So they want to support, or they want to boost farmers' income. They want to boost agriculture productivity and agriculture-based industries across the state. So the project will be rolled out in 7 districts of Bundelkhand and 21 districts of Eastern UP. I repeat, 7 districts of Bundelkhand and 21 districts of Eastern UP. In UP, agriculture is done on 165 lakh hectare of land out of 243 lakh hectare. That is the total land that is cultivable land, and out of that 165 lakh hectare. So 76% of the land is under cultivation. And Western UP contributes the maximum to agriculture. So 50% of the agriculture output of UP comes from Western UP. Eastern UP contributes just 28% and Bundelkhand contributes only 5.5%. So that is why they are launching this project in 21 districts of Eastern UP and 7 districts of Bundelkhand and 4,000 crore. Now, will the entire 4,000 crore will be provided by the World Bank? No. So out of the 4,000 crore, which is the total cost of the project, 2,737 crore will be funded by the World Bank and the remaining 1,166 crore will be funded by the state government of UP. By the state government of UP. This is the UP Agris project. Very important. And by the way, Uttar Pradesh government has also started a scheme called Mukhyamantri Yuva Udyami Vikas Yojana. Mukhyamantri Yuva Udyami Vikas Yojana. What is this scheme? So in this scheme, 1 lakh entrepreneurs will be created every year by providing them interest-free loan up to 5 lakh rupees. So up to 5 lakh rupees of interest-free loan will be given to 1 lakh people of UP and they will be converted to entrepreneurs. With the help of this money, they will start their business. And this scheme will run for 10 years. So in 10 years, 10 lakh entrepreneurs will be created in UP. 10 lakh entrepreneurs will be created. And the maximum loan that you can take first time is 5 lakh, up to 5 lakh. And if you pay this back on time, next time you can take up to 7.5 lakh. As per recent information, which of the following high court is set to launch a first of its kind online court called 24/7 OWN court. Here OWN means open and networked court. Open and networked court. So this has been launched recently by the Kerala High Court. The answer is Kerala High Court. And this project was inaugurated by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud. D.Y. Chandrachud. So what is this open and networked court? So basically this new initiative, it allows all the court processes to be conducted exclusively online. Everything that happens in the court is online, right from filing of a case to registration of a case, admission, appearances, hearing, passing of judgment, passing of the order, everything is done online, right? And the OWN court initiative was first launched in the Kollam district. So completely digital courts basically. And then these courts, they are also connected to E-Seva Kendra, mobile E-Seva Kendra, from where even normal people, they can file cases, So that has also been done. In fact, so Kerala High Court launched the first mobile E-Seva Kendra in Idukki. First mobile E-Seva Kendra was launched in Idukki. So even before the launch of the OWN court, the E-Seva Kendras were launched so that the people, they can come to the E-Seva Kendra and they can file cases or they can obtain the copies of judgments and orders like that. So they are creating a very big infrastructure for the same. Also, Chief Justice of India, Mr. D.Y. Chandrachud, he inaugurated an online alternate dispute resolution mechanism called vSolve. So the judges in Kerala, they will be able to refer the disputes to vSolve and the parties can then conduct negotiations on the platform without having to physically convene in the same location. So this is an alternate dispute resolution. You can do the settlement outside court on this platform called vSolve. And it has also been launched by the Kerala High Court. The Union Minister for Civil Aviation, Mr. Kinjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, he launched the guidelines for seaplane operations in India in New Delhi. The new norms are aimed at encouraging the seaplane operations under which of the following schemes or mission. What is a seaplane? Seaplane is a very small plane where like 10-20 people can sit. It flies just above the sea and it is used in tourism a lot. So for example, when you go to Maldives from the Malé airport, if you go to your luxury hotel, you will have to take a seaplane. For a lot of hotels, it is mandatory. Now, seaplanes operations will be encouraged as a part of Udan scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, which is a regional connectivity scheme. And this is a scheme by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So these guidelines, they prioritize the safety and security of the seaplane operations in India, right? And there will be no need for a waterdrome license. If you want to seaplane operations, there will be no need for a special waterdrome license. Commercial pilot license holders, they can now directly obtain seaplane ratings that will allow them to fly seaplanes. So if you have a commercial pilot license, you will be able to fly Seaplanes also, provided you get seaplane ratings, but a separate license for seaplane or waterdrome license is not required. And let me tell you, Mr. Ram Mohan Naidu, the Minister for Civil Aviation, he also launched the Udan version 5.4. Udan version 5.4. So what is this? Under Udan 5.4, fresh bids will be invited for the routes that were cancelled for some reason or another to provide connectivity on unserved routes. Unserved route means what? Where no flight goes. So for example, if you want to take a flight from, let's say, Delhi to Palakkad in Kerala. Now Palakkad does not have an airport. So that is an unserved route. I'm just giving you one example, right? So there were a lot of routes where the connectivity was not provided, and the routes government wanted routes, air routes, but they were cancelled for some reason or the another. So those cities will be connected under Udan 5.4. And the minister also announced that the demonstration flights of the seaplane by manufacturer De Havilland will also be held shortly. So seaplane services in India will be done by a Canadian company called De Havilland. And India has seaplane operations already in Andaman Nicobar as well as Gujarat. They had in the past, but they couldn't sustain for long. Now the government of India also plans to set up water aerodromes at 18 places in different states or union territories like Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Goa, Assam, Andhra, Himachal. 18 water aerodromes will be set up at 18 places in India. 18 places in India. So Udan, we had Udan 1, Udan 2, Udan 3, Udan 4, Udan 5. Now Udan 5, we then have Udan 5.1 and Udan 5.2. Udan 5.1 was for helicopters. Udan 5.2 was for small aircrafts, which are less than 20-seater aircrafts, And now we have Udan 5.4. So do remember that, right? In fact, we have Bharatiya Vayuyan Vidhayak. Bharatiya Vayuyan Vidhayak 2024. This has become an act now. This was a bill. It was introduced in the Lok Sabha and it will replace the Aircraft Act of 1934. Aircraft Act of 1934 has been replaced by Bharatiya Vayuyan Vidhayak 2024. Which country has collaborated with the government of India for establishment of smart laboratory on clean rivers in Varanasi in UP? Smart laboratory on clean rivers. So which country? The answer is Denmark. Denmark is the only country with which India has a strategic green partnership. Strategic green partnership. So government of India, BHU, and government of Denmark, and from government of India, it was the Ministry of Jal Shakti which went ahead with this smart laboratory on clean rivers. So under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, we have a department called Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. So this smart laboratory on clean rivers will help the expertise. It will take the expertise from Denmark to rejuvenate the river Varuna. So there is a river called Varuna that will be rejuvenated using sustainable practices. We will also have a real-time laboratory, on the Varuna river, and that will monitor the water quality of the Varuna river in real time. Understood? And in fact, smart laboratory on clean river is getting a funding of 5 crore from Denmark. This is a grant that Denmark is giving to India, and Ministry of Jal Shakti is giving a funding of 16.8 crore. 16.8 crore. Understood? So the first project will come on the Varuna river. And don't forget, C Narmada. C Narmada is a center for Narmada River Basin Management. C Narmada has been set up in the campus of IIT Gandhinagar in partnership with IIT Indore, but it has been set up in the campus of IIT Gandhinagar. We also have C Ganga Center, which is in IIT Kanpur. And what can you tell me about the Varuna river? By the way, Varuna is also the name of a exercise between India and France. Now, Varuna river is a tributary of the Ganga river which flows in UP. The river originates at Phulpur in Prayagraj and then it merges into the Ganga river near Varanasi. Recently, Kanu is a South Indian Adivasi knowledge center. It has been launched in which state of India? Kanu has been launched recently in Karnataka. It has been launched where in Karnataka? It has been set up in the BR Hills, which are located in Chamrajnagar district in Karnataka, and this was inaugurated on 25th of August 2024. 25th of August 2024. So this is the first Adivasi Knowledge Center, or Adivasi means tribal person, so tribal knowledge center which has been opened in South India. So it is the first ever knowledge center on South Indian Adivasi past, present and culture, a tree of knowledge. Now Kanu has been set up at which location? Kanu has been set up at the Institute of Public Health building, which is in Chamrajnagar. It will have a library where you can learn about the tribal people. It will have books. It will have a lot of books. Yeah, those books, they will be available online also. So the idea of this South Indian Adivasi Knowledge Center, it came in June 2023. And by the way, what is the meaning of the word Kanu? Kanu in Kannada language means evergreen forest. And who is setting this up? So it's a collective effort of lot of leaders and scholars from South Indian Adivasi communities. You know, it is an effort of lot of tribal leaders from South India. Who among the following has been approved to be the Secretary General of Indian Ocean Rim Association from 1st January 2025? A very nice question. What is Indian Ocean Rim Association? Well, this is an association. This is a coming together of a lot of countries that I will tell you in a bit. First, the answer is Mr. Sanjeev Ranjan. Sanjeev Ranjan will be the Secretary General of Indian Ocean Rim Association for 3 years from 1st January 2025 to 31st December 2027. And he will replace Mr. Salman Al Farisi from Indonesia. Salman Al Farisi from Indonesia, who was the Secretary General of IORA from 2022 1st January to 31st December 2024. And Sanjeev Ranjan is a IFS officer. He has been India's ambassador to countries like Argentina, Colombia and all these, right? Now, Indian Ocean Rim Association is an organization of multiple countries. So currently there are 23 members of Indian Ocean Rim Association, and it is headquartered in Ebene. Ebene is a city in Mauritius. Ebene is a city in Mauritius. And 23 members and 12 dialogue partners are also there. But just remember the number of members. So 23 members are there. As per recent information, who among the following will receive National Lata Mangeshkar Award? National Lata Mangeshkar Award from Madhya Pradesh government for the year 2023. So for the year 2022, it will be given to Uttam Singh. But for 2023, it will be given to K.S. Chitra, who is a renowned singer. And he is Uttam Singh. Again, Uttam Singh is a musician, singer, playback singer. So Uttam Singh is a musician and K.S. Chitra is a renowned playback singer. So they will get this award. And this will be given on 28th of September, which is the birth anniversary of Lata Mangeshkar. Look, Lata Mangeshkar was born in Madhya Pradesh in Indore. And that is why this award in the name of Lata Mangeshkar was started in 1984. It carries a cash prize currently of 2 lakh rupees. And yeah, so Lata Mangeshkar Award. Lata Mangeshkar also got the Bharat Ratna in 2001, but she passed away in 2022 in February. The National Lata Mangeshkar Award is given by the government of Madhya Pradesh. The recent death of Leonard Hayflick, a prominent biomedical researcher, has brought renewed attention to his groundbreaking discovery known as Hayflick limit. What is the meaning of Hayflick limit? Hayflick limit basically means it limits the divisions which a cell can have before entering senescence. So you know that there are cells in our body, right? Those are called somatic cells. Our body is made up of somatic cells. There are 2 types of cells in the human body. Let me explain what is the meaning of this. So in our body, the body cells are called somatic cell, and then there are reproductive cells, sex cells. Those are different. Somatic cells, the number of divisions which they can do is limited, right? That is called Hayflick limit. Hayflick said that no human being can live more than 125 years. Why? Because the cells in our body, they can not divide unlimited. There is a limit, you know. So they can divide, let's say 40-60 times. That is what he said, 40 to 60 times. But after that, they cannot divide. So that is why people start aging. So cell division in the non-reproductive cell stops after 40 to 60 times. And that is why people start aging. And he also said that there is an ultimate Hayflick limit, which is 125 years, and beyond which no amount of diet, exercise, or even genetic tweaking against diseases can extend the human lifespan. Human lifespan cannot be more than 125 years, according to Hayflick. This is the limit. And Hayflick was born in America. He was a professor of medical microbiology. Who among the following has received the gold medal in the men's javelin throw? This event happened Lausanne Diamond League in Switzerland. Lausanne Diamond League, it was Anderson Peters. He is from Grenada. He was also the winner of the bronze medal in the Olympics. Arshad Nadeem was the gold medal winner and Neeraj Chopra was the silver medal winner. But now Anderson Peter from Grenada, he finished number 1 yeah, so he finished number 1 and he's a 2 times world champion. He is a 2 times world champion. What about Neeraj Chopra? Neeraj Chopra finished second. Neeraj Chopra finished second, right? And Julian Weber of Germany, he finished third. So Neeraj Chopra threw 89.49 meter to finish second in the Lausanne Diamond League. Kakrapar Atomic Power Station in Gujarat has reached full operational capacity. So you need to tell me, they have recently launched their second nuclear reactor, CAPS 4. So how much capacity is of CAPS 4? So it is 700 megawatt. 700 megawatt CAPS 4, and now it is fully operational, has achieved full operational capacity, right? So this Kakrapar Atomic Power Station is indigenous and it is constructed by Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, Kakrapar. Kakrapar, it is located in Gujarat, right? And Nuclear Power Corporation of India is a company that works under the Department of Atomic Energy, and it is based in Mumbai in Maharashtra. And Kakrapar Atomic Power Plant is located in Gujarat. Recently, Union Cabinet, chaired by Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji, has approved Unified Pension Scheme. Now, this scheme guarantees an assured minimum pension of how much amount per month on the superannuation after a minimum of 10 years of service. So, let us take a look at Unified Pension Scheme, but before that you have to take some idea of OPS and NPS. So OPS is the old pension scheme where a person used to get 50% of his last drawn salary as a pension, and there was no contribution from the person, so it was not sustainable for the Indian government, right? Whatever was his salary, last drawn salary, 50% of that he used to get as a pension. Then we had NPS that started from 1st of January 2004. And again, all these pension schemes are managed by PFRDA. So in NPS, person used to contribute 10% of his monthly salary and 14% was matched by the government of India. And this became a corpus. 60% of the corpus person could withdraw on retirement as a lump sum, and the 40% he could invest in any fund of his choice like SBI mutual fund. There were a lot of funds given by the government. So the returns were market linked. So that was NPS. Now we have UPS, Unified Pension Scheme. And there are these provisions. So first is the assured pension. Now here again it is 50%, but it is not 50% of the last drawn salary, but it is the 50% of the average salary of the last 12 months, right? Average salary of the last 12 months, 50% you get, 50% of the average basic pay drawn over the last 12 months before retirement you will get as a pension. And this 50% you will get if you have served for minimum 25 years. Minimum 25 years. Now let's say if you have served for 20 years, then what? Well, then you will be getting in the same proportion. So 50% you get for 25 years, do the unitary method, you will get to know. And minimum you have to serve for 10 years to be eligible for pension. And if you have served for at least 10 years of government service, you will get at least 10,000 per month. So the answer of this question is 10,000 per month. This is the assured pension. This is the assured pension. Now let's say you die, then what? Then your family will get 60% of the pension amount. 60% of the pension amount you will get. If you die, then your family will get 60% of the pension. Also, there is inflation indexation on assured pension, on assured family pension and assured minimum pension. Inflation, so you will get benefit of dearness relief you will get, and dearness relief will be calculated using All India Consumer Price Index for industrial workers, that is AICPI-IW, for which the base year is 2016. So there are different types of CPI, CPI rural for example, but here dearness allowance, after pension you call it dearness relief, it means the same. So that will be calculated using CPI-IW, CPI-IW, and 10% you will contribute just like NPS, but government share will not be 14%. They have increased it to 18.5%. 18.5%. So all these things you should know about the Unified Pension Scheme. Department of Post, which was in news recently for because Department of Post works under the Ministry of Communication, and there are 1,65,000 post offices in India. So they will do the physical verification of the enterprises opened under the Prime Minister's Employment Guarantee Scheme. So that is why Department of Post was in news. Now, Department of Post, they have launched a philately scholarship scheme called Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana. Sparsh means scholarship for promotion of aptitude and research in stamps as a hobby. So Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana. Philately is basically collecting the postage stamps. I also do it sometimes. I collect coins also, that is called numismatics. So how many scholarships will be awarded to students at all India level under this scheme? How many scholarships will be awarded? So remember, total number of scholarships that will be awarded will be 920. 920 scholarships will be awarded. So this scholarship will be provided at all India level and at each postal circle level. So each postal circle will provide maximum 40 scholarships to 10 students of class 6, class 7, class 8, 9, 10 students each, total 40, because class 6 10 student, class 7 10 student, like that. So 40, that will be by the postal circle. And at the national level, 920 scholarships will be provided at the all India level who are pursuing philately as a hobby. So what will happen in this scholarship? Well, they will get 500 rupees per month or 6,000 rupees per annum. And this money will be payable on quarterly basis. So they will get 1,500 rupees per quarter or 6,000 rupees per year. And to be eligible for the scholarship, the student should be from a recognized school in India, and he should have a philately club, and the candidate should be a member of the club. The school should have a philately club, and the candidate should be a member of the club. Now, if the school does not have a philately club, then the name of the student who has his own philately deposit account can also be considered. So philately account you can open in post offices with just an amount of 200 rupees. And this is the condition. And then the selection of scholarship will be done on the basis of a written quiz of 50 multiple choice questions. 50 multiple choice questions. So it's a great scholarship, or you can win 6,000 rupees per year, and it will be given to 920 students at the national level and 40 at the postal circle level. Union Cabinet has approved Bio E3 policy for fostering high performance biomanufacturing of the Department of Biotechnology. Now, Department of Biotechnology works under the Ministry of Science and Tech. So what does E3 stand for in Bio E3? In Bio E3, what is the meaning of E3? It is economy, environment and employment. Economy, environment and employment. So basically, Bio E3 policy is for having high performance biomanufacturing in the field of biotechnology. It has been started by the Department of Biotechnology. So lot of innovation driven support to research and development and entrepreneurship will be given across different sectors. So high value bio-based chemicals, biopolymer and enzymes manufacturing, smart proteins and functional foods manufacturing, precision biotherapeutics, climate resilient agriculture. It will focus on all of these things. Carbon capture, marine and space research. It will focus on all of these things. So these are the strategic or the thematic areas. Strategic or the thematic areas. Department of Post has signed a MOU with which of the following centers to establish a standardized geo-coded addressing system in India. Standardized geo-coded addressing system. Department of Post is working closely with National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad. National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad, which is a center of ISRO. So basically what we will do is, this is a landmark collaboration. We will use the geospatial services, satellite data, and we will have a standardized geo-coded addressing system in India to ensure that there is ease of logistics. We have to ensure simplified addressing solutions for citizen-centric delivery of public and private services. Geo-coded addressing system will make tracking easier. It will streamline delivery services and optimize delivery routes. Based on the recent updates, how many seats have the government of India decided to allocate for Malaysian nationals under India's Technical and Economic Cooperation Program in the areas of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence and machine learning? So the answer is 100 seats. 100 seats. Now look, Prime Minister of Malaysia, he was elected as the Prime Minister in 2022, and since then it was his first visit to India. His name is Anwar Ibrahim. So he visited India recently, and there is a lot of cooperation between the two countries. So one of that is that India has decided to allocate 100 seats to the Malaysian nationals under India's Technical and Economic Cooperation Program in the areas of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. So let me show you all what happened recently. Now, India and Malaysia, they had a enhanced strategic partnership, but it has been upgraded now to comprehensive strategic partnership. Comprehensive strategic partnership, right? And the bilateral trade between the two countries reached a record high of $19.5 billion. $19.5 billion. Also, we are having a local currency settlement system agreement with Malaysia. So, India's central bank RBI and Malaysia's central bank Bank Negara Malaysia, they are collaborating in this regard. Malaysia also wants to become a member of BRICS Forum. So, India is looking at the request of Malaysia to be a part of the BRICS Forum. Government of India has allowed a special allocation of 2 lakh metric tons of non-basmati white rice to Malaysia. So, Government of India is providing 2 lakh metric ton of non-basmati white rice to Malaysia. And of course, we are allocating 100 seats under India's Technical and Economic Cooperation Program for Malaysian nationals in the areas that I mentioned. Malaysia has also decided to join the International Big Cat Alliance as its founding member. International Big Cat Alliance was formed to basically protect the leopards, tigers, lions, and all these, And both India and Malaysia, they have decided to set up Ayurveda chair by Institute for Training and Research in Ayurveda under the Ministry of Ayush at a university in Malaysia. So we will set up Ayurveda chair in Malaysia. Also, we will set up a Tiruvalluvar chair of Indian studies again in Malaysia University. So all of these collaborations we will do. In fact, India has UPI, Malaysia has PayNet. These two will be joined together. And you also know that Malaysia is also a part of Project Nexus. Project Nexus, right? There are 4 ASEAN countries, there is RBI and there is Bank for International Settlement. Department of School Education and Literacy that works under the Ministry of Education has collaborated with which organization, and they have released an e-magazine called Sapno Ki Udaan to commemorate the first anniversary of landing of Chandrayaan 3 on the lunar South Pole. It landed on 23rd of August and therefore we celebrate it as the National Space Day. The place where it landed, we call it the Shiv Shakti Point. Shiv Shakti Point. So, Department of School Education and Literacy has collaborated with NCRT for the same. National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCRT, right? So NCRT and Department of School Education and Literacy are collaborating together. And 23rd of August, as I said, we celebrated it as a National Space Day. Sapno Ki Udaan is a e-magazine. And what is the theme of the Sapno Ki Udaan magazine? It is simply space. Space was the theme. There are a lot of articles, there are a lot of poems, all related to space and ISRO. And the e-magazine has puzzles also in English and Hindi. It has poetry, stories, anecdotes. It will be published on a quarterly basis. It will be published on a quarterly basis. Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare JP Nadda has inaugurated National Medical Register Portal, NMR portal, where, for what purpose? Now this is a portal that has been launched by the National Medical Commission. So MBBS doctors will be registered here. All the MBBS doctors of India, it will be mandatory for them to get registered on the portal. This is called National Medical Register. National Medical Register, right? So also every doctor who will get registered on NMR portal, his NMR registration will be linked to Aadhaar card also to ensure authenticity of the individual. So this will be like a very comprehensive database for all the allopathic doctors. Allopathic doctors are the MBBS doctors. And the uniqueness of the NMR is that it is linked with the Aadhaar ID of the doctor to ensure authenticity. To ensure authenticity, right? And what is National Medical Commission? National Medical Commission replaced the Medical Council of India in 2019. It's a 25-member body. There are 25 members in National Medical Commission. And recently Supreme Court has also made a committee. It is National Task Force for Safety of Doctors. Second largest diamond in the world, which is around 2,492 carat, has been discovered in a mine located in which country? So this is a mine located in the African country called Botswana. The answer is option C. Botswana country is also very famous for elephants, right? So this diamond was uncovered by a Canadian company called Lucara Diamond. Lucara Diamond. So company was able to discover the diamond mine using the X-ray transmission technology. This diamond mine is called Karowe diamond mine, from where this diamond was unearthed, and the company is called Lucara Diamond. Now this is the second largest diamond in the world. Which is the largest? Largest is the diamond called Cullinan diamond which is 3106 carat. It was discovered from South Africa around 120 years ago. And Botswana is one of the largest producers of diamond in the world. Largest producers of diamond in the world. Which of the following company and a company from America called Petron, they have signed a MOU to jointly explore setting up 500 kilotons per annum bioethylene plant in India. Bioethylene plant in India, the answer is Gas Authority of India Limited, which works under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and it will be a 50-50 joint venture. 50-50 joint venture. Bioethylene plant. Bioethylene plant, right? And this bioethylene plant will be based on bioethanol. It's a 50-50 joint venture. GAIL company has a Maharatna status. It is a Maharatna company. Maharatna company. Odisha Chief Minister Mohan Majhi has launched a scheme called Subhadra scheme, which promises 50,000 rupees to all the women in Odisha who are aged between 21 to 60. So 10,000 rupees every year for 5 years, total 50,000 rupees, right? So what is the total budget for the scheme? So the scheme will cost 55,825 crore rupees. This is the total budget allocation. And how many women will benefit? 1 crore women are going to benefit in Odisha whose age is between 21 to 60. All of them will get 50,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees every year for 5 years. And this 10,000 also will be given in 2 tranches of 5,000 rupees each. So when they will be given 5,000 rupees each for 2 times, one will be given on International Women's Day, 8th of March, and second will be given on Rakhi Purnima. Rakhi Purnima. And all these beneficiaries will get Subhadra debit card also. So the scheme will start this year itself, that is the financial year 25, and it will run all the way till the 31st March 2029. 50,000 rupees in your bank account, right? What is the eligibility criteria? The women from economically privileged background, government employees or income tax payee, they are not eligible, right? They are not eligible. If you are from economically privileged, you are rich woman. If you are a government employee or income tax payee, then you are not eligible. Otherwise, you are eligible. Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Modi ji, has approved the continuation of the 3 umbrella schemes merged into a unified central sector scheme called Vigyan Dhara. Which department will act as the nodal department? The word Vigyan is a Hindi word which means science. So it is the Department of Science and Tech. A very simple question. Vigyan Dhara. So they were running 3 schemes. And now they have merged all the 3 schemes and they have created a unified central sector scheme. Unified means merged. 3 schemes are now unified or merged into one another. Central sector means 100% funding is done by the central government. That is called a central sector scheme. So what is Vigyan Dhara and which are the 3 schemes they were running? So they were running these 3 schemes. One scheme was for science and tech, institutional and human capacity building. Second one was for research and development. And the third one was for innovation, technology development and deployment. And yes, the work will remain the same, but instead of 3 different schemes now, we have just one scheme, Vigyan Dhara. And how much money will be spent in Vigyan Dhara? So 10,579.84 crore. And this scheme will run during the 15th Finance Commission period. So that is from this scheme will end all the way on 31st March 2026. So why the schemes are merged? Because one single scheme, it is much easier to implement. So it will enhance the efficiency in fund utilization and establish synchronization among different sub-schemes or program. So main objective of the Vigyan Dhara scheme is to promote science and technology capacity building, research, innovation, technology development, basically all of these, right? And the research and development component of the scheme will be aligned with the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Department of Science and Tech that works under the Ministry of Science and Tech. Look, Ministry of Science and Tech mainly has 2 departments. One is called Department of Biotechnology and Department of Science and Technology. They both constitute the Ministry of Science and Tech. So this is the Department of Science and Tech that will implement this scheme. It will be the nodal department for organizing, coordinating and promoting the activities. Now, what is Anusandhan National Research Foundation? Very good question. Anusandhan National Research Foundation. So ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, is a foundation that has been created according to the provisions of ANRF Act of 2023. So it has been very recently created. In fact, it has been created this year only as per the ANRF Act of 2023. It will replace the Science and Engineering Research Board that was created by an act of parliament in 2008. Now, Science and Engineering Research Board is the main body in India for, like doing the research and development work of the Ministry of Science and Tech. But now Science and Engineering Research Board, which was created in 2008, this organization has been converted to ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. National Research Foundation, Anusandhan is a Hindi word which means research. So research in Hindi is called Anusandhan. It is called Anusandhan, right? So very important question. Also you know that CSIR works under Ministry of Science and Tech. So under CSIR, there is an institute, National Botanical Research Institute, and they have created a herbal medicine for the gout. Gout is a type of arthritis in which the uric acid gets deposited in your joints, leading to immense pain. So what is that called? National Botanical Research Institute Gout Out. NBRI Gout Out is name of the herbal medicine which has been created. Ministry of Tribal Affairs has launched a nationwide information, education and communication campaign and beneficiary saturation camps for Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Mahabhiyan or PM Janman Yojana to reach out to the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, habitations and PVTG families in how many districts across India. A very, very important scheme, PM Janman scheme. And when it was launched, I taught this scheme in a lot of detail, right? So first, let me tell you what is PM Janman and then I will come to the question. By the way, the answer is 194 districts. Look, first understand what is PM Janman scheme. What are we trying to do in PM Janman scheme? So there are 75 tribes in India which are very, very impoverished. They have social development very less. They have very less economic development. They have very less political development. So all the types of development are very, very low. So these are called particularly vulnerable tribal groups. And there are 75 such tribes in India which are extremely poor from every angle: education, economic development, social development. These are called particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So PM Janman scheme was launched to benefit these 75 tribes of India, right? And when the scheme was launched, it was launched in December 2023, and it is a scheme by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Till here it is clear. Now, what is the objective of PM Janman scheme? As I said, we will benefit these 75 particularly vulnerable tribes, right? And what we will benefit them for? So there are 11 things we will do. I repeat, there are 11 things we will do. For example, Sabko Pakka Ghar means everyone should have a Pakka house. Pakka house is a concrete house. Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. We will make sure that every of these tribe, every member should have tapped water. Gaon Gaon Tak Sadak means every village will have a sadak. Sadak is what? Road. Har Ghar Bijli, every house electricity. Shiksha Ke Liye hostel, which means they should have hostels for education, boarding hostel. You must be knowing about Eklavya Model Residential School. So they are open for the tribal people. Kaushal Vikas, skill development. Dur Daraz Gaon Tak mobile medical unit. So mobile medical hospital should reach every far off village. Sabko Poshan, which means Sabko nutrition for all. Unnat Ajivika, which means they should have employment opportunities. And Dur Daraz Gaon Tak mobile network. So they should have good mobile connectivity, 4G, 5G, 6G, all of this. So these are the 11 things we want to do. These are the 11 critical interventions which we want to do, right? And this scheme was started with a lot of money. So government said that they have launched this scheme with the outlay of how much? With the outlay of 24,104 crore rupees. So this is the money government will spend. Out of this, central government will spend 15,336 crore and the state governments will spend around 8,768 crore. And in fact, this scheme was announced on, yes, it was launched in December, but it was announced 1 month back on 15th of November 2023 because this is the birthday of the great Indian Bhagwan Birsa Munda, the great tribal leader. And that is why PM Modi went all the way to Khunti in Jharkhand, and he launched this scheme. Till here it is clear. Okay, now we are in a position to do this question. So what have we done so far? Okay, what have we done so far? Well, what we do is, see, launching a scheme is not enough. We have to make the tribal people aware that there is a scheme called PM Janman that will do 11 important things to you. So we run the awareness campaign, and the latest campaign will reach out to 44.6 lakh PVTG individuals which are living in 10.7 lakh PVTG houses. So approximately you can say 4 members per family. And they are living in 28,700 areas where PVTG concentration is very high. So these 28,700 habitations are in 194 districts. So that is why in these 194 districts, this scheme will run. This is an awareness campaign for PM Janman scheme. It will involve IEC. What is IEC? Information, education, communication. That is what we want to do. So now it's become very easy, right? Okay, so keep that in mind and let us move on. India has launched its first reusable hybrid rocket, which was developed by Space Zone India, which is a private company in Chennai, space technology company in Chennai, with Martin Group of New York. So what is the name of this rocket? So this rocket is called Rumi 1, RHUMI, Rumi 1. It was developed by a company which is based in Tamil Nadu in Chennai called Space Zone in collaboration with a company from America which is called Martin Group. Now, it reached around 35 kilometers away from planet Earth, and it is a reusable rocket, right? So when it was launched recently, you can see the rocket. It carried 3 cube satellites and it carried 50 pico satellites. Pico are like very, very small satellites, even smaller than the nano satellites. Pico is smaller than nano, by the way, right? Nano is 10 raised to the power minus 9. Pico is 10 raised to the power minus 12. So basically, these pico satellites are used to investigate various atmospheric factors, altitudes, ozone level, all these things, right? And these satellites, they collect data. They collect data on global warming, climate change, atmospheric conditions like cosmic radiation, UV radiation, air quality, ultraviolet rays, all of these they do. So Rumi rocket, so this mission, Rumi, was led by Anand Megalingam. Anand Megalingam is the founder of the company Space Zone, and he was given the mentorship by another great Indian space scientist. He is a former director of ISRO Satellite Center. His name is Dr. Mailiswamy Annadurai. Dr. Mailiswamy Annadurai. So it was launched recently. And by the way, you must be knowing National Remote Sensing Center, which is in Hyderabad. It is also owned by ISRO. So they have partnered with the Department of Post. Why? For geo-coded addressing system. Geo-coded addressing system that will improve the delivery services and logistics in India. DRPG, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, under the Government of India. So it works under which ministry? Ministry of Pension, Personnel and Public Grievances. So they have partnered with which country, and they have signed a MOU on cooperation in the field of public administration and governance reforms for 5 years. So we will cooperate with which country in administrative reforms? We will cooperate with Malaysia. Malaysia, truly Asia. Actually, Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim was on a visit to India. It was his first visit since he became the Prime Minister in 2022. And of course, Malaysia, we have elevated our partnership to strategic partnership, right? And the trade between the two countries is increasing like crazy. In fact, Malaysia will host the ASEAN Summit next year. This year, ASEAN Summit took place in Laos. Both the times. ASEAN Summit takes place 2 times a year. It is biannual. But next year, both the times it will take place in Malaysia. So Malaysia will take the chairmanship of ASEAN in 2025. Right? 2025. And also we have allocated 2 lakh metric ton of non-basmati white rice to Malaysia. 2 lakh metric ton of non-basmati white rice we have allocated recently to Malaysia. And there is a program of India called ITEC, or India's Technical and Economic Cooperation Program. So 100 people from Malaysia will come and study in India, and they will study in the field of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., etc. And Malaysia is also one of the founding members of International Big Cat Alliance. And recently we have done Udar Shakti exercise, and Malaysia has said, by the way, Udar Shakti is the Air Force exercise, and Malaysia has said that I am stopping the orangutan diplomacy. I will not do it. Aram is the name of a program. It has been launched to enhance early childhood education. It has been launched in which Indian state? So it has been launched recently in Punjab. The answer is Punjab. Aram program. What is Aram? Aram means beginning, start. So this is about early childhood education. What is the meaning of early childhood education? See, according to the National Education Policy, you can't admit your child in the first class till he becomes the age of 6. So Government of India, Ministry of Education, they have launched two programs. Okay, 2 curriculum. One is from 0 to 3 and one is from 3 to 6. Okay. So if you want to educate the child from 0 to 3 years, there is a program called Nav Chetna. This is by the Ministry of Education, right? And from 3 to 6, it is called Aadhar Shila. The word Adhar Shila means foundation stone. Nav Chetna is like new. I don't know how to translate it. Nav Chetna. So just remember Nav Chetna. Nav Chetna is for birth to 3 years, and Adhar Shila is from 3 to 6 years, right? And this has been done so that even the children of Anganwadi workers, they get these two curriculums only, because they believe that 80% of the brain of a child is developed till the age of 6 years. So we should have proper programs for them, right? So Government of India, Ministry of Child, Women and Child Development, they launched a program called Poshan Bhi, Padhai Bhi, which means nutrition also, studies also. So this is a upskilling program for the Anganwadi workers to build their capacity to provide early childhood care and education to their children. Which of the following artificial intelligence company has launched Grok 2 Mini? Grok is a artificial intelligence powered solution of Twitter, that is XAI. XAI is the company of Elon Musk. It is based in California and it is capable of generating images. It is you can write a code, it will generate images. And Grok is a SOTA AI model. What is SOTA? State of the art, international level AI model. The first ever National Space Day was celebrated when? What was the theme? Theme was touching lives while touching the moon. India's space saga, 23rd of August, because on this day Chandrayaan 3 landed last year in 2023 at the Shiv Shakti point. Name of the lander was Vikram. Name of the rover was Pragyan. Ministry of Home Affairs, they have announced the creation of 5 new districts in the Union Territory of Ladakh. Identify which one is not among them. Now, in Ladakh Union Territory, there were only 2 districts. One was Leh and one was Kargil, right? But now 5 more have been created. So Zanskar is one of them, Dras is one of them, Changthang is one of them, Phyang is not one of them. Okay? And then we have Nubra, and then we have Sham. So these are the ones. Let me show you where they are. You can see Nubra right here. You must have heard about Nubra Valley. Then this is Changthang. You must have heard about the Changthang Plateau, Changthang Wildlife Sanctuary. This is Leh. This is Sham. This is Kargil. And this is Dras. And this is Zanskar. You must have heard about Zanskar Valley, right? So these are the now 7 districts of Ladakh. See, when we create smaller districts, it improves the governance, it strengthens the governance, and it ensures that the benefits reach every corner of the Union Territory. So, basically, the central government has no role to play in the alteration of districts or creation of new ones. The states are free to decide on this matter. If the state government wants to change the name of a district or a railway station, then the Home Ministry comes into the picture, right? So, these are the ones. And do remember the names of all the 5. Not very difficult to remember. Now, Ladakh, it was said by 2 institutes, Birbal Sahani Institute of Paleosciences Lucknow and Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, that Ladakh is the ideal place if we want to have a Mars and Moon analog research station. Then Ladakh is the perfect place. Analog research station. Also in Ladakh, recently Indian Army, they conducted an exercise which is called Parvat Prahar. It is called Parvat Prahar or Mountain Strike in English. Mountain Strike or Parvat Prahar. And also don't forget that recently in Ladakh, near the line of actual control, which is the border with China, there are 2 tank repair centers which have been opened. These are the world's highest tank repair centers. They are at a height of 14,500 feet. So one tank repair center is located in Neoma. There is a place called Neoma in Ladakh, and the other one at the DBO sector. DBO means Daulat Begoldi sector. Daulat Begoldi sector, right? Which is very near to the Karakoram Pass. India's first indigenously developed monkeypox RT-PCR kit called Erba MDX has been recently developed by Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone in partnership with which company? This company is based in Mumbai. It is called Trans Asia Diagnostics Private Limited. You know that monkeypox or Mpox is spreading like crazy. Now this is a disease that initially was discovered in monkeys. That is why it was called monkeypox. But the word monkey is a racist word. So they are using the word Mpox and they are not calling it monkeypox. So Mpox mainly it is found in Central Africa, Central African countries, even the East African some countries, and even West Africa some countries. Mainly it is found in African countries, right? But now it is spreading, and WHO has declared it a public health emergency, so they are extremely concerned about it. And Indian Council of Medical Research has already validated this kit. RT-PCR kit means what? Just like in COVID we saw, it is used for establishing whether you have Mpox or not. So it is an innovative product, and it has high sensitivity and ease of use. So Arba MDX kit is cost effective. It is not very costly, and Trans Asia has developed it in partnership with the Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. So do buy the kit and see if you have symptoms, whether you are Mpox positive or not. So mainly in Central and West Africa it is found, and it is spread through what? It is spread through the rodents like rat, etc. It was first discovered in monkeys in 1958. In 1958. Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, during his visit to Poland, he announced the launch of Jam Sahib Memorial Youth Exchange Program, which will bring how many Polish young students to India annually? So, total 20 students from Poland, they will come to India every year, and their entire expense of education and everything will be borne by the government of India. 20 students every year. Now, something very significant, when was the last time an Indian Prime Minister visited Poland? So that was in 1979 when Morarji Desai, that time Prime Minister of India, that time he visited Poland. So after 45 years, Indian Prime Minister visited Poland. And Poland is a very important country, right? And in 2024, India and Poland, they are celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations. 70 years of diplomatic relations. This is very important. Our diplomatic relations with Poland started in 1954, and therefore now we are completing 70 years of diplomatic relations. So 70 years, 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries. In fact, PM Modi visited Ukraine also recently, and the diplomatic relations between India and Ukraine started in 1992. In 1992. So those are only 32 years old, but with Poland it is 70 years old. So now let me tell you all the things that you need to know about his Poland trip. So he basically visited Jam Sahib of Navanagar Memorial. So Navanagar is a place in Gujarat which is now called Jamnagar, right? And there is Jam Sahib of Navanagar Memorial which is in Poland. So basically there was a king of Jamnagar or Navanagar called Jam Sahib Digvijay Singh Ji Ranjit Singh Ji. He took in refugees from Poland and he gave them safety and care during the World War II in 1942. There were a lot of Polish children, Poland refugees. They were looking for shelter when Russia attacked Poland. So that time Poland refugees, they came to India, and the Maharaja of Jamnagar, or that time Navanagar, Jam Sahib Digvijay Singh Ji Ranjit Singh Ji, and in Poland we even have a memorial after the great gesture of Jam Sahib Digvijay Singh Ji Ranjit Singh Ji, right? So this was a great gesture by him. And PM Modi also visited Monte Cassino Memorial, which commemorates the Polish soldiers who laid down their lives in the Second World War. Then PM Modi announced that Jam Sahib Memorial Youth Exchange Program. As I said, 20 Polish youth will visit to India every year. And he also announced to promote Indian tourism. He asked the people who are living in Poland to promote Indian tourism. Also, Prime Minister of Poland, Prime Minister of Poland is Mr. Donald Tusk. Okay, not Donald Trump, Donald Tusk. And they have upgraded India-Poland relations to strategic partnership. Also, we have announced a 5-year joint action plan from 2024 to 2028. This action plan lists various priority areas. So we will mutually cooperate in security cooperation, political cooperation, trade and investment, transport and connectivity, climate, energy, mining, science and tech, and EU-India. And India and Poland, we have also signed a social security agreement to promote the mobility of the skilled workers. PM Modi also visited Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Warsaw, the capital of Poland. And PM Modi also thanked Poland for helping in Operation Ganga. Operation Ganga was launched by India to evacuate the Indian citizens from Ukraine. And let me tell you that, one more thing. So basically, India wants to become a member of International Energy Agency, which is located in Paris, and Poland is helping India in that also. So all of these things were there. One very interesting thing, in Maharashtra, there is a place called Purandar. Now Purandar is a place which is located in Pune, and Purandar is very famous for fig. In Hindi we call it anjeer. There is a fruit called fig or anjeer in Hindi, and fig juice we are exporting now first time to Poland, because Purandar in India is known for its exceptional quality of figs. And in fact, the Purandar figs are GI tagged products. GI tagged products. As per the recently issued comprehensive guidelines for handling public grievances, the timelines for effective grievances redressal has been reduced to how many days? From 30 days. So it has been reduced to 21 days by the Union government. Comprehensive guidelines for handling public grievances. So you know that there is a portal called CP Grams portal, where a public can notify the government of their grievance. So this is the grievance filing platform, CP Grams, right? And it's an online web enabled system which was developed by National Informatics Center that works under the Ministry of Electronics and IT in partnership with Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances and Directorate of Public Grievances. So earlier the timeline was 30 days, but now it has been reduced to 21 days. So in cases where the grievance redressal is likely to take longer, citizens shall be given an interim reply. Now it is very much possible that sometimes government is not able to give in 21 days the reply or the grievance solution, but then they will inform the citizen of India if that is not possible. But otherwise the timeline is now 21. It is 21, right? And recently, and who manages this portal? Yes, it was developed by NIC, but that is the engineering part of it, technical part of it. But this is a portal by the Ministry of Pension, Public Grievances and Personnel. So there is a separate ministry for handling public grievances, right? And also there is a centralized pension processing software called Bhavishya. So the Department of Pension and Pension Welfare, which works under the Ministry of Pension, they launched a software. It is a online pension sanction and payment tracking system. It was launched by the Ministry of Pension and Pension Welfare. Bhavishya portal. Which of the following country has approved a 52.8 million government-to-government deal for the sale of anti-submarine warfare sono buoys that will be integrated with the Indian Navy's MH-60 Seahawk helicopter? MH-60 Seahawk helicopter. So what is the answer? The answer is United States of America, of course. Now look, we purchased MH-60 our Seahawk helicopter, and now we will have these anti-submarine warfare sono buoys. These will be integrated with this helicopter. These are anti-submarine in nature. Anti-submarine in nature, and Indian government wants to buy it. In fact, Indian government, Indian Navy wants it. So there is a deal of 52.8 million that has been signed between India and America. So sono buoys are what? Sono buoys are small expendable devices in underwater acoustics and sonar system to detect and analyze the sound in the ocean, particularly for tracking submarines. So they are used for anti-submarine warfare. It is a core technology for anti-submarine warfare. So these sono buoys will go deep into the ocean and they will track hostile submarines. Right? And these MH-60, they are extremely competent helicopter. MH-60 helicopter. Now, can you tell me who manufactures MH-60 helicopter? Lockheed Martin. So these are manufactured by Lockheed Martin, right? MH-60 helicopter. And India and America, they have also signed an agreement recently, Security of Supplies Agreement, or SOSA. Security of Supplies Agreement, or SOSA. It has also been signed recently. Indian Army has transferred the technology for the mass production of two indigenously developed cutting edge technology to private Indian company. What is the name of these technology? So Indian Army, they developed this technology, but they transferred it to the private company. One is called Exploder and one is called Agni-Astra. Agni-Astra, right? So these were designed by Army Design Bureau. These technology were invented or developed by the Innovation Office of Indian Army, that is Army Design Bureau, and these were given to the private Indian companies because we are supporting the private Indian companies so that the overall manufacturing increases in the defense sector in the transfer of technology, right? So what is Exploder? Exploder is basically a unmanned ground vehicle which is used for combat, and since it is unmanned, we don't have to worry about losing our soldiers, and this ground vehicle can self-destruct also. It can also be used in disaster management, disaster relief operations. So it is a unmanned ground vehicle. What is Agni-Astra? Agni-Astra is a multi-target portable detonation system. It is like a bomb. It is a remote detonation technology, which means Indian Army will be able to conduct remote detonation. Detonation means bomb blast. Remote means you are not at the site where bomb blast is taking place. You can do the bomb blast from a distance. That is called remote detonation. So this capability will be there, and it is capable of simultaneously targeting multiple locations over extended ranges, and it can be manually placed or delivered via drones also. So this is called Agni-Astra. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has distributed the certificate to 11 lakh new Lakpati Didi in a function organized at the Jalgaon in Maharashtra. Lakpati Didi initiative is a part of which mission? And how many Lakpati Didi do we want in India? Well, we want 3 crore Lakpati Didi in India. Earlier, the target was 2 crore, but now it is 3 crore. So 11 lakh new Lakpati Didis have been created so far. And in Maharashtra, in Jalgaon, the function was there. And Lakpati Didi total number has exceeded now 1 crore. Lakpati Didi simply means a woman in India who is earning more than 1 lakh rupees every year. That is called a Lakpati Didi. Lakpati Didi. And recently 11 lakh new Lakpati Didis have become in India. Total number is now more than 1 crore. Total number is more than 1 crore, right? And when he went to Jalgaon in Maharashtra, so basically let me tell you the answer. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. So Prime Minister, he also launched a revolving fund. He also launched a community investment fund of 2500 crore, and this fund will benefit 48 lakh members of 4.3 lakh self-help groups. Prime Minister also released a bank loan of 5,000 crore rupees that will benefit 25.8 lakh members of 2,35,400 self-help groups. So he is releasing these amounts. One is a revolving fund called Community Investment Fund, and one is a bank loan of 5,000 crore rupees. So Lakpati Didi are those women who have achieved annual income of 1 lakh rupees or more, and it's a part of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, which is run by the Ministry of Rural Development. Ministry of Rural Development. Now in the budget, how much amount was allocated for the scheme? Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, for 15,047 crore for the financial year 25. For the financial year 25. National Rural Livelihood Mission was launched in 2010, right? But in 2016, the name was changed, and instead of National Rural Livelihood Mission, we started calling it Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, and it is a centrally sponsored scheme, which means both the central and the state government, they contribute money. Another important thing, under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, there is a new initiative which has been started called Million Designers, Billion Dreams. And TAY NRLM has partnered with a company called Leap for enabling Million Designers, Billion Dreams. This is to empower the individuals across India with systems design. They will be taught how to do systems design. So it's essentially a skill development initiative. For example, one project I can tell you is Vadhavan Port, that is coming up in Palghar district of Maharashtra, because in this port, 74% contribution will be of Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, and the remaining 26% will be Maharashtra Maritime Board. So Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority, they need money. And who will give them this money as loan? It is Rural Electrification Corporation, which is a Maharatna company. And Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority is based in Navi, Mumbai. It is based in Navi, Mumbai, right? So 45,000 crore loan for JNPA's infrastructure projects will be given by REC. It will be given by REC. Also, at the REC headquarters, which is in Gurugram, recently National Feeder Monitoring System was launched. National Feeder Monitoring System Control Center was launched, which will give you the real-time data of 2.5 lakh power feeders across India. Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, who is the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, launched Bharat Zero Emission Trucking Policy Advisory Document. The advisory outlines a comprehensive approach to achieve 100% zero emission trucking sales penetration by which year? So this is a very important question because the trucking market in India is increasing and the target is 2050. So what is the meaning of trucking? First of all, simply trucks. Trucks are very important in India if we have to undergo cargo transportation or logistics. But we want trucks in India which are environment friendly, which have zero carbon emission. So the entire trucks in India, each and every truck in India should be having zero emission. This is a target till 2050. 2050, right? So Bharat Zero Emission Trucking Policy. For that, there was a committee, there was an advisory committee that was set up, which was chaired by Preeti Bansal. This committee, and they have said they have discussed this zero emission trucking guideline. Not only that, there is a Center of Excellence for Zero Emission Trucking which has been set up in IIT Madras recently. Center of Excellence for Zero Emission Trucking which has been set up at IIT Madras. And Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, also launched a portal called Swati Portal. Science for Women, A Technology and Innovation Portal, or Swati Portal. Swati Portal. Swati Portal will be developed, hosted and maintained by National Institute of Plant Genomic Research that is located in New Delhi under the leadership of Dr. Subra Chakrabarti. She is the director of NIPGR. And this is a single portal representing Indian women and girls in the STEM field. STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Math and Medicine. Which company has secured 3 major contracts worth 11,000 crore from Adani Power and its subsidiary called Mahan Energen Limited to supply equipment and to oversee the erection and commissioning of 3 supercritical thermal power projects located in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. So 3 thermal power plants are coming up in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and they will be set up by BHEL. And BHEL has got this big contract from the Adani Power. BHEL has got this contract from Adani Power, right? Now, which are these projects? So total, so every project will be 1600 megawatt. First of all, it will have 2 units of 800 megawatt, 1600 megawatt each, 1600 megawatt each. So what are the names of this project? So we have the Kawai phase 2 project. We have Kawai phase 3 project, both are in Rajasthan. And then we have Mahan phase 3 project, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Every project will have a capacity of 1600 megawatt. 1600 megawatt. Now, in which district are these projects coming up? The Kawai is located in Bara district of Rajasthan and Mahan is located in Singrauli district of Madhya Pradesh. Who among the following has been appointed as the Director General of National Security Guard? National Security Guard are also known as Black Cats. They are commandos, Black Cats commandos. So Mr. B. Srinivasan, he is a senior IPS officer from Bihar cadre, and he is the Director General. National Security Guard works under which ministry? Again, Ministry of Home Affairs. It was founded in 1984 after Operation Blue Star against the Sikh militants. So it was founded on 16th of October 1984. 16th October 1984, and it is headquartered in New Delhi. As per the recent information provided by the Ministry of Education, under the New India Literacy Program, individuals previously classified as non-literate could be considered literate upon passing the FLNAT. Now, in the acronym FLNAT, what does F stands for? So the full form of FLNet is Foundational Literacy and Numeracy Assessment Test. Foundational Literacy and Numeracy Assessment Test. Now, before I tell you about this, let me explain to you what is NILP. Only then you will be able to make a sense of what I'm trying to teach. So what is this national program which is called NILP or New India Literacy Program? So New India Literacy Program is also known as Nav Bharat Saksharta Karyakram. In Hindi we call it, New India means Nav Bharat, Literacy Program means Saksharta Karyakram. Saksharta Karyakram, right? Nav Bharat Saksharta Karyakram. Ullas is the tagline. Understanding of lifelong learning for all in society. So it is known as NILP Ullas or Nav Bharat Saksharta Karyakram Ullas. This is the full name, right? And this program was launched in the financial year 2022-23. So it started in the financial year 23 and it will run all the way till financial year 27. And it is a centrally sponsored scheme, which means both the central government and the state government contribute in the scheme. And the financial outlay of the scheme is 1037 crore. This much is the financial outlay. And you can see this is a program for 5 years. New India Literacy Program Ullas have financial year 2022-23 to 2026-27. Till here it is clear. Now what is the target of the government in these 5 years? The target is to cover 5 crore non-literates. 5 crore non-literates who are basically people who are in the age group of 15 years or above. So either a person has to be of the 15-year age or more than 15 years of age. So all the non-literates who are 15 years of age or above, they will be taught foundational literacy and numeracy and critical life skills. Right? And how do you teach them all these things? So for that there is a platform called Diksha. Diksha is a platform that was launched by NCERT, and the NCERT also works under the Ministry of Education. Diksha platform was launched in 2017. It was launched in 2017. So now you know what is the scheme. Now what has happened is that Ministry of Education has said that it wants all the states and union territories to achieve full literacy by the year 2030. What is full literacy? In full literacy, you will have foundational literacy plus numeracy plus critical life skills. And it wants every state to do it by 2030. So that is called full literacy. So literacy simply means you can read and write, but full literacy will be achieved when you have basic foundational literacy and numeracy as well. So what is the goal of full literacy? The goal of full literacy is to be achieved when any state or union territory attains a 95% literacy rate. So 95% literacy rate will be considered equivalent to 100% under the NILP guidelines. So FLNet test was conducted last in March 2024, and in that 85.27% people were certified as literate. And in the NILP scheme, 160 crore has been allocated for the current financial year by the Ministry of Education. And we want the entire India to achieve full literacy by 2030. And now I have already told you what is this program. So this FLNet test is conducted once in March and another time in September. March and September. So the full form of F is foundational, right? So to answer the question, F means foundational, that is option D. And why NCERT was in news recently? So NCERT, which works under the Ministry of Education, has partnered with the Department of School Education and Literacy, which again works under the Ministry of Education, to launch a magazine called Sapno Ki Udaan. And this is a magazine that will be published every quarter. So this magazine was launched to commemorate the first anniversary of the Chandrayaan-3 landing, that we also known as National Space Day, or 23rd of August. 23rd of August, right? Let us move on. As per the recent information, the Reserve Bank of India has planned to launch the ULI digital platform to provide frictionless credit by reducing the turnaround time for evaluating loan applications. So what does ULI stand for? ULI stand for, so you must be knowing UPI full form, right? Similarly, you should know the full form of ULI also, and it is Unified Lending Interface. Just as UPI is Unified Payment Interface, so you will have Unified Lending Interface. So ULI was already launched as a pilot project by the RBI in 2023. Now let me explain to you what is ULI. So let's say this is the platform. So on this platform, you will have very quick loan disbursal. If you apply for a loan, it takes days, but here you can take a loan in just minutes. And how is that possible? Well, so on ULI, there will be, for example, loan givers like the banks and NBFCs and all those will be there. You will also have credit information companies who will quickly give your data. So this platform will ease the flow of information which is required by a lender like a bank or NBFC to process a loan. So the idea of ULI is to have a seamless flow of information, digital information like financial parameters, credit details. So multiple data, land records. For example, your land records will also be here on ULI. So the banks can get to know immediately about your land details. So frictionless credit platform has been called ULI. It will include banks, NBFCs, fintech companies, everyone. And more details will emerge as this is launched in the future. The 7th Anubhav Award ceremony to recognize the contribution made by the central government employees while in service has been organized. Anubhav Awards are given by which ministry? Anubhav Awards. So these are the awards which are given by the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension. This is the 7th time Anubhav Awards are given. So in the ceremony, 5 Anubhav Awards and 10 jury certificates, they were given to the people from 9 different ministries or departments. So total 15 awards were given. And out of 15, 5 were women pensioners, which is the highest number of women in a single ceremony, right? In a single ceremony. So what are Anubhav Awards? First of all, you understand the concept about it, Anubhav Award. The word Anubhav means experience in English. So if you are a government personnel, personnel and you want to, share your experience, you have a lot to share. So the retiring or the retired employees, they can contribute, right? They can contribute by, telling the government what to do in a particular field. And Anubhav Awards are given to these. So there were write-ups which were submitted from 22 ministries or departments, and total 5 Anubhav Awards and 10 jury certificates were given this year, right? So who got the award is not very important, but you should definitely know why Anubhav Awards are given. So you have to submit a write-up if you are a government employee in what? In admin work, how to have good governance, how to improve the administration work, how to do research, simplification of any government procedure, accounts, contribution to your own field, constructive feedback, any of these things, right? So these Anubhav Awards were started in 2015, and a person gets 10,000 rupees, a medal, a certificate, and incentive of 10,000 if he is getting Anubhav Award. And if he is getting a jury certificate, then he gets only a medal and certificate. He does not get 10,000. So there are 2 awards here. One is Anubhav Award and one is the jury certificate. In jury certificate, 10,000 rupees cash amount is not there. So when a particular central government employee or pensioner, when he can submit his write-up? He can submit his write-up. Let's say this is his retirement date. So up to 8 months before his retirement date, or up to 1 year after his retirement. This is very important. It is not like he can submit his experience or his write-up anytime. So he can submit his write-up 8 months before the retirement date or 1 year after the retirement date. and well, he will be given 10,000 rupees if he wins the Anubhav award. And so this is given by the Ministry of Personnel, Pension and Public Grievances. And public grievances. Is that clear? So, and also this Ministry of Pension and Public Grievances, it has reduced the time for grievances redressal on the CP Grams portal from 30 days now to just 21 days. 21 days. Rajasthan and which of the following state has announced the plan to develop a new religious circuit called Shri Krishna Gaman Path to boost the religious tourism and cultural heritage? Now these Gaman Path are becoming very popular. We saw Shri Ram Gaman Path in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Basically, wherever Lord Shri Krishna visited, wherever Lord Krishna visited, those places will be connected together in the form of a circuit, so that a tourist goes to one place, he will also be motivated to go to other places. So in a significant move to boost religious tourism, so Shri Krishna Gaman Path has been announced, and it will be announced by 2 states. It will be implemented by 2 states, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. The answer is Madhya Pradesh. Shri Krishna Gaman Path. So what they will do? Well, they will connect the birthplace of Lord Krishna, which is Mathura, right? And they will also connect Ujjain, which is a city of Mahakaleshwar in Madhya Pradesh, on the bank of the Shipra River. So the idea is to focus on preserving and promoting religious tourism, right? Now, why is Ujjain famous apart from the Mahakaleshwar temple? So the journey will start, the Shri Krishna Gaman Path will start from Mathura and it will end. Mathura is Lord Krishna's birthplace and it will end in Ujjain. Ujjain is the end point of the journey. It is famous for Sandipani Ashram. Ujjain has a place called Sandipani Ashram, and Sandipani Ashram is the place where Lord Krishna received his education. So Sandipani Ashram in Ujjain has a special place in Hindu mythology with respect to Lord Krishna. Right? So in fact, Chief Minister Bhajan Lal Sharma, he is a follower of Giriraj Ji. Giriraj Ji is a form of Lord Krishna associated with the Govardhan hill. In fact, Bhajan Lal Sharma, Chief Minister of Rajasthan, his village is called Atari, which is located just 20 km away from Govardhan Parvat. So his personal contribution is there. Like, he was personally very much involved in this project. Indian Defence Ministry finalized an order for 73,000 guns. What are these guns? These are called SIG 716 G2 petrol assault rifle. So from which country are we purchasing these very powerful gun? We are purchasing it from United States of America. And these are 716 G2 SIG petrol rifles, right? And very, very powerful guns. So these are manufactured by which company of America? SIG Sauer. The company is called SIG Sauer Inc., which is an American company. So these rifles will be given to Army, Navy and Air Force. 4,000 of these will be given to the Air Force. Army will get the bulk of it. 66,400 will be given to Army, and the remaining 2,000 will be given to the Indian Navy. It will be very useful for those soldiers who are deployed along the borders with China and Pakistan. They have very superior performance. They are much better than AK-47 and INSAS rifles, which we are already using. 8th Empowered Program Committee has approved 4 startups with some grant under the Grant for Research and Entrepreneurship across aspiring innovators in technical textiles or GREAT scheme. Now under the scheme, the Ministry of Textile provides grant in aid of normally up to how many rupees for a period of 18 months. So if you are doing research and innovation in the field of technical textile, you can be given a grant of up to 50 lakh rupees for 18 months. This is a scheme that was started by the Ministry of Textile. 4 startups have been approved and they will be given a grant of 50 lakh rupees each under the GREAT scheme. And this GREAT scheme was started as a part of National Technical Textile Mission, which was started in 2020. It was started by the Ministry of Textile. And GREAT scheme was started in 2023. And it encourages young scientists, young innovators, startup ventures to invest in the field of technical textile, to innovate in the field of technical textile. It will give you a grant of up to 50 lakh for a period of 18 months. 18 months. Which of the following state government has allocated 53.21 crore annually to fund the Mukhyamantri Sukh Shiksha Yojana, which is aimed at supporting the education and well-being of children from vulnerable families? Mukhyamantri Sukh Shiksha Yojana. So this is a scheme which has been started by the government of Himachal Pradesh. Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu is the Chief Minister. So this initiative provides financial aid to widows, destitute women, divorced women, and disabled parents. So their children, these are the vulnerable families: widows, destitute women, mean poor women, divorced women, and disabled parents. So under this scheme, children who are less than 18 years of age, who are from these eligible families which I just told you, they get a monthly grant of 1000 rupees from the government to cover educational, health, and nutritional expenses. So 1000 rupees is given, right? And those beneficiaries who are taking benefit of the scheme, their annual family income should not be more than 1 lakh rupees per annum. Only then you are eligible. Also, Himachal government has recently started a scheme called Him Unnati. This is to promote the natural farming in Himachal Pradesh. Natural farming. Who among the following has been elected as the new chairman of ICC? New chairman of ICC will be Mr. Jay Shah. Mr. Jay Shah. He will replace Mr. Greg Barclay. And his ICC chairmanship position starts from 1st of December 2024. Earlier, he was the secretary of the BCCI. Where is the headquarters of ICC? ICC is headquartered in Dubai. Also, the ICC Women's T20 tournament will now take place in UAE. It was supposed to take place in Bangladesh, but the hosting country has been shifted from Bangladesh to UAE. It will now take place in Dubai and Sharjah. The following company has announced the beta launch of Rufus. It's a cutting-edge generative AI-powered conversational shopping assistant in India. Shopping assistant. So Rufus is the shopping assistant announced by Amazon. So the answer is Amazon. So Rufus is a intelligent and versatile shopping assistant, and it will help you in shopping list advice, product recommendation, requirement analysis. It can offer more accurate and relevant assistance. It can do product category comparison. It can give you gift ideas. All these things it can do. Competition Commission of India has approved the acquisition of Shriram Housing Finance Limited by which company? Shriram Housing Finance Company. It's a housing finance company. It has been acquired by the Warburg Pincus Group. Warburg Pincus Group is headquartered in New York in America, and they have acquired Shriram Housing Finance. Shriram Housing Finance is a company that is based in Mumbai. It is based in Mumbai, right? So they acquired it through their subsidiary company called Mango Crest Investment. Mango Crest is a company that is registered in Mauritius. So Warburg Pincus, they have a subsidiary called Mango Crest Investments, which is a company based in Mauritius. So they acquired Shriram Housing Finance through Mango Crest Investment. And Shriram Housing Finance is one of the largest companies, The transaction amount was 4,630 crore. So this is a deal worth 4,630 crore rupees. 8th Dharma Dhamma conference was organized by the India Foundation in collaboration with which university? This university is the Gujarat University, which is located in Ahmedabad. And Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankad, he was the chief guest. And what was the theme of the event? Cosmology. The theme was Cosmology in Dharma and Dhamma traditions. Cosmology in Dharma and Dhamma traditions. This was the theme. So here Dharma, it comes from Hindu, Dhamma comes from Buddhist standpoint. So it is an initiative of India Foundation. India Foundation is a independent research center. It is an independent research center, right? So very, very important. As per recent information, Indian Air Force has dispatched its renowned Sarang helicopter display team to participate in the international, in the international air show where it is taking place. International air show where it is taking place. The answer is Egypt. The answer is Egypt. This event is taking place at the Al Alamein International Airport. Al Alamein International Airport is in Egypt. Which city? El Dabba. El Dabba is the name of the city. Airport name is El Alamein. That is where it is taking place. Sarang team is known for their very precise helicopter aviation skills. Helicopter aviation skills. They mainly use which helicopter? Advanced light helicopter, which is manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And these helicopters are transported to Egypt by C-17 Globemaster aircraft. C-17 Globemaster aircraft. Now, Sarang team is based out of Sulur. Sulur is a place in Tamil Nadu. Sulur, near Coimbatore. The word Sarang means peacock in Sanskrit. So this team was formed in October 2003. October 2003. Which company has launched a new oral cholera vaccine called Hilcol, aiming to offer a solution to the global shortage of OCV's oral cholera vaccine amid rising cases of oral cholera. Cholera is caused by a bacteria called Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae, which is a comma-shaped bacteria, and Bharat Biotech is the answer. Bharat Biotech is a company that is based in Hyderabad. In fact, you remember Bharat Biotech company made Covaxin during COVID. So they manufacture this in Hyderabad and Bhubaneswar, and this company is capable of producing 200 million doses. 200 million doses. So there are two doses which need to be given on day 0 and day 14. And it is given on day 0 and day 14. So this vaccine has been developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with other companies also. Like for example, there is a laboratory called Hilleman Laboratory. Hilleman Laboratory, University of Gothenburg, University of Gothenburg, and Gotovax AB. So Bharat Biotech has developed this vaccine in partnership with these three companies. In these three companies, right? And cholera cases are increasing. Definitely they are increasing in the world. Who among the following has become the youngest Asian to scale Mount Kilimanjaro, which is Africa's highest peak? Mount Kilimanjaro is located in Tanzania. It is at a height of 5,895 meters. So it is Tegbir Singh. Tegbir Singh is a 5-year-old boy from Ropar in Punjab. Ropar is also known as Roopnagar. Ropar, you must have heard about Ropar Lake, which is a Ramsar site in Punjab. So just 5-year-old boy. He has scaled Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro. So the highest point of Mount Kilimanjaro is known as Uhuru Peak. Uhuru, Uhuru Peak. Uhuru Peak. Recently spiced sustainability in spice sector through progressive, innovative and collaborative interventions for export development. This is the full form of SPICE. SPICE scheme has been introduced by the Spices Board of India. Total 422 crore rupees will be spent on the scheme. So what is the main aim of the scheme? Why the SPICE scheme has been launched recently? So it is to improve the export of spices. We want to basically improve the export of spices. Now, SPICE scheme is launched by Spices Board of India, and Spices Board of India works under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? And this scheme will be implemented throughout the remainder of the 15th Finance Commission cycle. So 15th Finance Commission is ending on 31st of March 2026. So this scheme will run till 31st March 2026. And approved amount is 422.3 crore. So we want to significantly improve the export of spices and value-added spiced products. So for that, what we have to do, we have to make sure that the quality of the spices is upgraded and it meets the international standards. International standards. Now they are focusing at the moment on cardamom. You must have heard about cardamom hills, which are located in Kerala. So the small cardamom, large cardamom quality production programs are introduced and replanting efforts are introduced. So SPICE scheme will focus for now on cardamom. And Spices Board of India was set up when it was set up in 1987, and it is headquartered in Kochi in Kerala, and it works under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they have mandated the registration of exotic pets listed under Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Act with the State Wildlife Department via which portal within 6 months. So if you have any exotic pet which is a part of the Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Act, then you need to register your pet within 6 months, right? And this portal is called Parivesh portal, Parivesh version 2. Now, what is the full form of Parivesh? Proactive and responsive facilitation by interactive, virtuous and environmental single window hub. So this is the full form, right? And Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change issued this notification only now. Every person who is in possession of any living specimen of species listed in Schedule 4 of the Wildlife Act of 1972 is required to report the detail of such animals through the Parivesh 2 portal. And basically, this notification was issued not now, it was issued on 28th of February. And why I am discussing it now is because that time also I had taught about this scheme, this mandate by the Ministry of Environment. Why I am teaching now is because 6 months are getting over soon. 28th of August. This was the 6-month period. This was the 6-month period. So what is Schedule 4? For those species which are protected under CITES, that is Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. So those are Schedule 4. So if you have any exotic pet, what is exotic pet? Exotic species? Exotic species are those organisms which have been introduced into an area outside of their normal distribution. So for example, if you go to a foreign country, you buy some animals, you can buy some parrot or something which is not found in India, that is an exotic species, essentially a foreign animal. So it is an organism that is introduced into an area outside their normal distribution. And these can be very dangerous for our local species. So that is why you have to get it registered. India has gifted 4 Bhisham cubes, which are designed to provide emergency medical care through mobile hospitals to which of the following country? So these hospitals are called Arogya, right? There is a name given to it. So these are Arogya Maitri hospitals. You can call it Project Arogya Maitri mobile hospital. There are 72 cubes and they can be fitted together within just 10 minutes and you get a hospital, mobile hospital. So Bhisham cubes will be gifted to Ukraine. You know, PM Modi recently visited Ukraine. So it will provide emergency medical care through the mobile hospitals. Now look, it is the first Indian head of state visit to Ukraine since Ukraine's independence in 1991. So his visit to Ukraine was very important from an international standpoint, right? And even our trade with Ukraine is increasing. The bilateral trade between the two countries was $3.38 billion in financial year 22, the latest data that is available. And PM Modi also tried to talk about peace, you know. And how many agreements we have signed with Ukraine? So we have signed 4 agreements with Ukraine. We have signed 4 agreements with Ukraine. Also, PM Modi visited the multimedia martyrologist exposition on children at the National Museum of History in Ukraine, and he expressed sorrow at the tragic loss of young lives. He also placed a toy in the memory of those children who died in this war. And India's PM extended an invitation to Ukrainian President Zelensky to visit India. So these are the 4 agreements that were signed between India and Ukraine. There is cooperation in the field of agriculture and food industry. Then there is a cooperation on drugs, you know, mainly drugs. And then there is a cooperation for high impact community development project. And then cultural cooperation between the two countries. So these 4 MOUs were signed recently between India and Ukraine. And last time a Ukrainian president visited India, that was in 1991. Understood that? As per recent information, India's first quantum computer is set for launch under the National Quantum Mission. National Quantum Mission is led by which organization? National Quantum Mission comes under the Department of Science and Technology, and Department of Science and Tech works under the Ministry of Science and Tech. So this is the National Quantum Mission. We are about to launch our first quantum computer after a delay of nearly 4 years. So India's National Quantum Mission will advance the quantum technology across 4 key verticals: quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum measurement, and quantum sensing. And around 6,000 crore rupees has been allocated for this mission. And what we will do? Well, we will set up 4 non-for-profit companies in India. And these companies will basically spearhead the different technologies. These companies will spearhead activities across the identified verticals. Those 4 verticals I have already told you: quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum measurement, and quantum sensing. And National Quantum Mission is what? So National Quantum Mission, basically it is setting up a grant also for those startups which need funding. So this funding will be in the range of 10 to 50 crore, minimum 10 crore, maximum 50 crore. National Quantum Mission was launched in 2023. And what do we want to do? So the goal of the mission is to set up a quantum computer with a computation of 20 to 50 qubits in the next 3 years, and 50 to 100 qubits in the next 5 years, and 50 to 1000 qubits in the next 8 years. So this mission will run from 2023 to 2031. Very important. 2023 to 2031. And it is run by the Department of Science and Tech. Who has authored a book called Save America? Save America is a book which has been written by Donald Trump. And he was the 45th president of US, and he has written a book called Save America. As per recent information, 2024 World Athletics Under 20 Championship will take place where? So World Athletics Under 20 Championship, remember, it will take place in Lima, which is the capital of Peru. Right? And this is also known as World Junior Championship. But now it is called World Athletics Under 20 Championship. We don't call it World Junior Championship anymore. And this is a mascot of the games. It is a bear. It is a bear animal called Ukuku. U-K-U-K-U, Ukuku. So that was a video for best 3 MCQs for the month of August. This was set 4. I'll see you in next month set 1. Thank you for watching Study IQ.